In a quiet Virginia suburb, a nosy HOA president dubbed Karen by neighbors called the police on Daniel Okoye, a black homeowner, suspecting illegal activity in his garage. The situation spiraled out of control when officers, acting on her tip, mistakenly shot the state governor visiting Okoye, triggering a scandal that exposed bias and incompetence, leaving the community and police department reeling. Daniel Okoye, 40, was a cybersecurity expert who had moved to a gated community in Arlington, Virginia, 3 years earlier. A Nigerian-American who had served in the Army National Guard. He lived with his wife, Aisha, and their teenage daughter in a modern home that stood out in the neighborhood of traditional colonials. Daniel was meticulous about his property, but his tech-heavy hobbies, drones and 3D printing, drew the attention of the Homeowners Association, HOA, President Susan Caldwell, 57, a retired accountant known for her overzealous enforcement of rules. Susan, nicknamed Karen by residents for her relentless complaints about minor infractions, had clashed with Daniel before. She'd sent letters about his excessive outdoor lighting and once reported his daughter's bike left on the driveway. Daniel, always polite, complied to avoid trouble, but Susan's scrutiny intensified. She often watched his house from her porch, noting his frequent deliveries of tech equipment. On a Saturday afternoon in August 2023, Daniel was in his garage, tinkering with a drone prototype alongside his friend, Governor Robert Hayes, 52, who was visiting privately. Hayes, a rising political star, had met Daniel at a tech conference and shared his interest in drones. The two were testing a navigation system when Susan walked by, her dog on a leash. Seeing the garage door open and hearing unfamiliar noises, she assumed Daniel was up to something illicit. Without speaking to him, she called 911. "There's suspicious activity at 24 Maple Lane," she reported. "A man is building something strange in his garage. You need to check it out." Within 15 minutes, 2 police officers, Michael Brady, 29, and Laura Chin, 34, arrived. Brady, new to the force, was eager to make his mark, while Chun, more experienced, preferred caution. They approached Daniel's garage, where he and Hayes were calibrating the drone. Brady, leading, shouted, "Hands where I can see them. Step out now." Daniel, startled but calm, raised his hands. "Officers, I'm in my own garage. What's the problem?" Hayes, in casual jeans and a polo, stepped forward. "I'm Governor Robert Hayes. This is a misunderstanding. We're working on a tech project." Brady, not recognizing Hayes, drew his weapon. "Stay back. We got a call about illegal activity here." Susan, standing across the street, nodded vigorously, pointing at Daniel. "That's him. He's always doing something shady." Chun, sensing the tension, tried to de-escalate. "Mike, let's verify their IDs first." But Brady, fixated on Daniel, ignored her. "You, show me what's in that box," he demanded, gesturing to a crate of drone parts. Daniel complied, opening the crate slowly. Hayes, frustrated, reached for his phone to call his chief of staff. "I'm getting someone to clear this up," he said. Brady, misinterpreting the movement, panicked and fired a single shot, hitting Hayes in the arm. Hayes collapsed, clutching his wound. Daniel shouted, "Call an ambulance." "That's the governor." Chun, horrified, radioed for medical help while restraining Brady, who stood frozen, his gun still in hand. Susan, watching from the sidewalk, gasped, realizing her mistake. Neighbors, drawn by the commotion, began filming. Paramedics arrived within minutes, stabilizing Hayes and rushing him to the hospital. His injury, a flesh wound, was not life-threatening. The police department launched an immediate investigation. Brady was placed on administrative leave, and Chin provided a detailed statement, noting his rash actions. Susan's 911 call was reviewed, revealing her vague and biased assumptions about Daniel. Security footage from Daniel's garage camera captured the entire incident, showing Brady's failure to verify identities before escalating. The story exploded online after neighbors' video went viral, showing Susan's accusations and the shooting. The hashtag Arlington scandal trended, with users decrying racial profiling and police misconduct. Major news outlets, including the Washington Post and NBC, covered the incident, identifying Daniel as a respected veteran and Hayes as the victim of a preventable error. Daniel, shaken but composed, cooperated with investigators. He provided documentation proving the drone project was a legitimate collaboration with a tech firm, and Hayes confirmed their friendship. The HOA issued an apology, but Susan faced intense backlash. Neighbors demanded her resignation, citing her history of targeting minority residents. She stepped down days later, issuing a statement claiming she acted out of concern for the community. Brady faced criminal charges for reckless endangerment and was fired from the department. The incident prompted Arlington to mandate body camera reviews and implicit bias training for officers. Hayes, recovering quickly, called for calm and praised Daniel's restraint. "This could have been worse," he said at a press conference. "We need to address these issues head-on." Daniel and his family stayed in their home, supported by neighbors who rallied against the HOA's overreach. The incident became a case study in community bias and police accountability, with Daniel's dignity under pressure earning widespread admiration. Full script, approximately 5,000 words. Daniel Okoye had built a life of discipline and achievement. Born in Lagos, Nigeria, he immigrated to the U.S. at 16, joining his uncle in Baltimore. After high school, he enlisted in the Army National Guard, serving 2 tours in Iraq as a communications specialist. His military experience led to a career in cybersecurity, where he founded a consulting firm that worked with federal agencies. His move to Arlington was a deliberate choice, a safe, quiet community for his wife, Aisha, a pediatric nurse, and their daughter, Zoe, 15. Their home, a sleek 2-story with solar panels, reflected Daniel's forward-thinking nature. Susan Caldwell, the HOA president, was a fixture in the neighborhood. Known for her binders of bylaws and frequent emails about standards, she saw herself as the gatekeeper of the community's image. Her interactions with Daniel were strained from the start. His modern home, with its minimalist design and tech-heavy upgrades, clashed with her vision of uniformity. She once confronted him about a delivery truck parked too long, implying it lowered the neighborhood's tone. Daniel, ever diplomatic, brushed it off, but Susan's vigilance grew. That August afternoon, Daniel was excited to show Governor Hayes his drone project. Hayes, elected in 2021, had a reputation for supporting tech innovation. Their friendship began at a cybersecurity summit, where Daniel's presentation impressed Hayes. The drone, designed for disaster relief deliveries, was a passion project, and Hayes had asked to see it in action. The two were in the garage, surrounded by tools and circuit boards, when Susan walked by. Her 911 call was laced with assumptions. "He's always got packages coming," she told the dispatcher. "Now he's building something in there. It looks suspicious." She didn't mention Daniel's race explicitly, but her tone implied he didn't fit her idea of a typical resident. Officers Brady and Chin responded quickly. Brady, fresh from the academy, saw the call as a chance to prove himself. Chin, with 8 years on the force, preferred a measured approach but deferred to Brady's lead. When they arrived, Daniel and Hayes were calibrating the drones. GPS Brady's shout interrupted them. "Hands up. Step away from the equipment." Daniel complied, his military training kicking in. "This is my property. Officers. I'm working on a drone with my friend." Hayes stepped forward, identifying himself. "I'm Governor Hayes. This is a private visit. There's no issue here." Brady, not recognizing Hayes and focused on Daniel, dismissed the claim. "ID now," he barked. Chun, checking her tablet, confirmed Daniel's address matched the property records. "Mike, let's slow down," she urged. Susan, watching from across the street, shouted, "He's lying. Check what he's hiding." Her words fueled Brady's suspicion. When Hayes reached for his phone, Brady yelled, "Weapon," and fired. The bullet grazed Hayes' arm, and he fell, clutching the wound. Chin immediately restrained Brady, calling for backup and medics. Daniel, staying calm, applied pressure to Hayes' arm, using a towel from the garage. "Stay with me, Rob," he said. Susan, realizing her error, stammered, "I didn't mean for this to happen." The aftermath was chaotic. Medics stabilized Hayes, and police secured the scene. Daniel provided his drone permits in correspondence with Hayes, Proving the project's legitimacy, the garage camera footage uploaded to the cloud showed Brady's reckless actions and Susan's inflammatory remarks.